This is a quick supplement replacing the older supplement for combining files and showing how to use an border. Uh, this process just uses a couple simple tools. We use it throughout, but I'm also going to kind of expand on some other ideas depending on whether you've seen this earlier in the course or later in the course that we'll use. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer. Because I'm going to just use the same image throughout. And this relates to later assignments in the course where you have to use the same design. So at this point, I have two of these, and let me go ahead and do a canvas size, and this is where you'll first go. So you go into image, then canvas size, and one of the easier ways to change this is by percent. So I'm gonna put these side by side. So I'm gonna double the width, and I want to anchor the first one to the left. I can put it to the left or right. Uh, as it's best just to kind of play with these to get a feel for them if you have some questions. But I'm going to show another change here later where I'll use either top or bottom. But I also want a little bit of a border in between. And I also want that border to be a different color. So I'm going to pick the gray, and I'm just going to pick one of the standard variations that are available. And I'm also going to increase this by, let's say, 10. Let's just do 5% for in between them. I think that'll be sufficient for now. So 205, this is to give us the border in between. And I'll put the border around the edges on at the end. So let's go ahead and hit OK there. And so you still can't see that second image, but we're on the background copy, and that's the one we want to move over. So grab the Move tool, shortcut V there, and you can turn on your grid as well. And then I usually have Smart Guides on as well, and I'll put Snap on too. So this will help me move it over. So notice it snaps into place. Those magenta lines that show up here and here say that it's aligned with your other image. And there's some other ones that'll show up depending on how we're moving things around. But then I can just slide it over to the other end here, and then I can hit OK. Now I've got my 5% in between, and so I'm going to make some changes to the color. I'm going to do that during a pause because I really don't want these changes to be used during assignments, but they're good for when I'm trying to explain an example. So at this point, it really looks just like I rotated that. Um, but at this point, the yellow is at top, going down to a darker value, more in line with some of the subtractive color wheels we deal with in week 2. So the next part of this that I want to do, and say I'm not quite ready to commit to putting these on the same layer, I don't have to do that yet. What I can do, if I'm curious about what they would look like, I can select them both, right click, duplicate layers. It's going to give me a name for that, which is fine. I can just leave it as it is. Don't really need to think about those too much. And then I can merge these layers, so in case I want to work with them later. Excuse me. Uh, and then I'm going to make one more copy because I do want to make some changes with this in a moment. So I've got that. The first change I want to make is I'm going to Control I, which is invert, and it's under Image Adjustments, and right here. And what it's going to do, it's going to put the complements. It's going to replace each color with its complement, and it's going to turn lights to dark. So the white will turn black, and then all the hues will have their complements replaced. So now the yellow is the blue, which was down here, is the yellow. The red is now cyan, and the cyan is red. All the colors have been replaced with their complements. I still have the original image below here. So I have that. Now, first, I want to go ahead and make room to show this as well. So just like we were putting 4 images on one. So canvas size one more time. I'm going to switch this to percent. And last time I used 205, that 5% before, and so I can use that again. And I'm going to put the white ones on the bottom, so I'm going to anchor that down here. Now if I wanted them on top, I just anchor them on top. Just really wherever you wanted them. Some of these other ones will change how you're adding borders, and later on we can talk about that if there's specific questions. Let's go ahead and hit OK. So still got our gray border. I've got these two images here already merged together, so I can go ahead and move them. Notice my pink centering lines for the Smart Guide showing up, helping me align things. And so there's the 3 magenta lines telling me that it's centered and that it's both aligned to the left and right of the original copy. I can turn off my grid at this point. So now I've got a border in between. I've got 4 different images to work with. And the last part of this is to give it a border. So it's really up to you what size border you want. Let's just make it roughly about ½ an inch, leaving the color the same. And now if I wanted it bigger, make it bigger. And this is a good place to put labels. So if these were 4 different specific designs or harmonies, I could label each harmony. But it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it, and it's just a matter of understanding the different tools.